I'm now just with Pat, and we're in Greensborough, and this is another food growing project that he's involved with the most magnificent view. And it's relatively complicated, the situation here, but Pat's going to explain all.
I'll give it my best go. It's called Beals Road Farm where we are right now. Mr. and Mrs. Beals family used to own this land, and it was now owned by Vic Roads. I think it was Northeast Link option 4, say, that wasn't taken up, but it's basically land banking for a highway or a freeway. We're sort of hoping that now that the Northeast Link is going to be built, that there won't be a freeway through, although what that would mean for us growing food here, we don't know, but we can't see it being built on anytime soon. The lease on the land is through a family called the McLean's family, which leased the land for their son, who has an intellectual disability. So he lives in the old farmhouse behind Chris and has a 2-acre lease holding, and we are on the 2nd acre. And we have an agreement with him that we are able to farm here. The farm collective, we call ourselves, is the Veggie Empire. And the Veggie Empire farm at Beals Road Farm. The Veggie Empire is made up of horticulturists and trainees. And I guess the unique thing about the trainees here is that they have an intellectual disability. And we use a buddy system. So 1-on-1 or at the most 1-to-2 teaching, because the two fellas actually, Josh and Scott, have through their NDIS plan, have chosen that their chosen vocation is in agriculture and is in horticulture, and so they've been working towards that for probably 10 years now with Rachel, who is the mastermind behind this model of teaching and training. She's worked in intellectual disability education for a long time and met these fellas at a day service and then brought them here for, I guess, more hands-on and more close teaching. And we hope that one day soon that they'll be able to earn an income or a wage off what they do here with us. Currently, myself, I work here as a support worker and is funded through their NDIS plan.
And so where are the veggies going now? Like, where do they just... Oops, that's all right.
So the plant before COVID hit, we were supplying a local cafe called Earthbound Bolton. A lot of herbs. We had a lot of late summer stuff. Some of the planting, what you can see here has only opened up in the past 6 to 12 months. And so we're currently in the process of making sure we have a right plan so that we can sell all year round.
Yeah.
We were selling 2 or 3 veggie boxes to locals a week at the end of summer and early autumn. But our hope is to, at the start of summer, to then open that up. Well, maybe a farmer's market, definitely sell to the cafe again. Eltham Farmers Market we've got a close relationship with through Local Food Connect. Who have always kept the door open for us to have a stall there.
That's on that car park roof, isn't it? Is that the Eltham Farm?
I don't know. I've actually never been.
I think I've been there. Anyway,
yeah, never been there. But it's run by Local Food Connect, sort of a northeast food advocate group, I guess they are. But yeah, we're growing a lot of garlic at the moment, which will take there and slowly planning to have food so that we can have a regular supply of a cafe
and the garlic. And there's a patch. We wander down to that patch.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, is that being grown by farm? Is it Farmer Incubator or Farm?
Farmer Incubator. We're going to use that space this year. So I don't know. It's Farmer Incubator. It's a group that have what they call a pop-up garlic farmer program every year in different sites around Melbourne and rural Melbourne as well. So they were going to take this spot, but when COVID happened, they decided to cancel their program. So we've made use of that to plant our own garlic.
Right. There it is. That's a lot of garlic.
Yeah, a lot of garlic. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we've got about 5 different varieties. I think a purple, a white, a Spanish Roja, which is kind of spicy, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be good.
it'd be good to get into the different garlic varieties. There's
Yeah.
definitely garlic connoisseurs out there.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
the two varieties, the Spanish Rosa and another like creamy looking one. It looks quite nice.
Yep.
We got them from a farmer in the Yarra Valley from Elephant Farmers Market,
Right.
Who were really helpful and invited us out there once this all ends.
I have to ask the question, which I didn't ask on the video with you and Kirsty back at Belfield, but do you ever want volunteers here at all?
Here, it's quite a sensitive place, considering Hayden lives here. So in the future, we probably will have volunteers, but at the moment, we do have a couple of long-term volunteers, but it's not necessarily an open farm.
Yep.
At FarmRaiser, we'll definitely have volunteers. That's sensitive as well, because for our agreement there, we've got to let them know who's going to be there during school hours.
Right.
So we'll work through that. But definitely we want volunteers at FarmRaiser eventually.
Well, I'm sort of blown away by this view, I have to say.
You couldn't even say well-walked dog walking. It is a dog walking area, but it's not designated as such. There's actually signs when you come into the space to say sort of no entry, which is I find that quite crazy to have such an open space. It's not landscaped, it's just mowed.
Yep.
There's no effort to do anything, re-veg, nothing, because I guess because it's a land holding for Vic Roads, they are just waiting to bulldoze it and put something through it.
Yeah.
Whether that's going to be an estate, I hope not. Like the grand plan is to put enough of these little farms eventually on this space to sort of rebuke the fact that they could sell the land and say, hey, we're taking 10 tons of food off this a week. You can't do that to to Melbourne and to the local community.
It's a great point about surplus land. It has such potential.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully there'd be such an outcry from the locals who do use it as open space that it would also help you guys here.
It's worth millions and millions, like tens of millions of dollars, really, as just land value to a developer. It depends if that talks more than community outcry. I don't know.
And Pat, just quickly, so the tarp's here to killing off the grass?
Yeah, tarp's the same as FarmRaiser. Yep. So smaller space, smaller tarp. It's acting as doing exactly the same thing, killing off the grass. And what we've done is we've actually just planted straight in.
Yep.
To the other plots. I think, like I spoke to you earlier, we've actually got some aggregate covering the whole space, about 15-20 centimetres down.
Yep.
So I think what we'll start to do is really start to shovel out the paths and build those to a height where they're not going to get
that aggregate was from some previous use, which Rachel just before.
Yeah. So the previous use we think was a horse yard, which is just crazy. And this dam is potentially the quarry, we actually don't fully know.
The fancy term, which I only learnt from being involved with the children's farm, is she said it was probably a menage.
A menage, yes. Yeah. And so the funny thing, the aggregate's causing this perched water table and causing water to run down. So I think we really need to make an effort to build the beds up.
Yep. To
get out of that water logging, and eventually build them to such where you don't have to worry about building them every year.
Yep.
But we've got wood chips down in the pathways, which I wouldn't often do at a farm. It just creates more mess and gets into your beds. But if they compost down every year and we can lift those, you've got composting in situ in the path.
Yep.
Good carbon source.
Absolutely.
Good, yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, this has been a little bonus. Video on top of what you guys are doing with FarmRaiser.
Yep.
I'll keep wanting to call it Fundraiser. I'll have to come back out here another time.
Yep. Yeah. It's come back out when we're running on a Monday or something.
Definitely in the spring. All right. Well, thanks again, Pat.
No worries.
Appreciate it.